Hello everyone, this is Hyena, and you're watching TF2 ASMR. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at SD Doomsday, or Special Delivery Doomsday. Doomsday pits blue against red, with only one team getting the honor of transporting a suitcase nuke full of recalled Mann Co Australium to American monkeynaut Poopy Joe's rocket so he can blast off and hunt down Soviet space chimp Vladimir Bananas. It's the same spirit of competitive enterprise that stalled the moon landing by 3 years when Buzz Aldrin suplexed Neil Armstrong into a pile of folding chairs at Astromania 69. Both teams will attempt to get the necessary fuel up a preposterously slow-moving elevator and into Poopy Joe's Australium-powered rocket to the stars. Both teams compete to deliver the Australium to the launch pad and stay there until they can insert the Australium into the rocket's tip. Once inserted, the rocket launches upwards, encounters a staggering failure in the engines after a short time in the air, and crash lands upon the enemy base, destroying a laser relay. Doomsday was revealed on day 1 of the Pyromania update, June 27th, 2012, and was developed by Valve themselves. Special Delivery _Doomsday. I've already noticed coming into this room, we have this neat projector here. It's visible on one side, but not the other. I really would expect this to be a physical object that's just hollow on the backside, but instead it completely disappears when we look at it from this side. But the reels do stay put. And we've got some loose VCR type machinery here. And it looks like these look like old Nintendo Entertainment System cartridges. Or cartridge covers, dust protectors for your NES games. However, they have lines on them that make them look like maybe some sort of hard drive or computer accessory. I'm sure they plug into something somewhere back here. But I do think their shape was heavily inspired by the Nintendo dust covers that keep your cartridges safe. We have the mathematics chalkboard. E = MC something. GV2E2 over MRC4 equals X0 plus GE4 over M2 M squared R squared C4, then X2 plus Y parentheses Z times 3 equals GX mass gravity times mass over speed. Trajectory equals bracket parentheses pi equals 3.1415926s times g over air density cubed. All of that over acceleration times friction over mass, then max distribution equals 56.76885.933256577. We've got a nice ruler here. We've also got a nice chalkboard eraser. It looks like there's no chalk to be found, but that's to be understood. I'm sure they didn't think anyone would come back here. A nice water cooler and a nice map. We also have a nice clock here, and we have a newspaper cutout, the Badwater Bugle Herald Tribune, TF Industries lands monkeynaut program. Launch location shrouded in secrecy. Jobs coming to the Badlands. Biggest shipment of Australium in nation's history to arrive tomorrow. And this we have a picture of Poopy Joe, but we can't, or Poopy Joe. I never know if it starts with a B or a P. I think it's Poopy Joe. But we have a picture of Poopy Joe here, and we can't see his face. He's nice and covered up to protect his monkey identity. This is fake text here. It's illegible. It's not something I think that you can actually read. And of course, we have the plastic chairs that everyone loves. Everyone enjoys sitting in. All of that just to sell that we have a briefing room on the other side of the spawn room. I really like the design of these doors. And their big, beefy hinges. Let's see. Gorilla Wrestling Fridays, sign up. Here we have a cork board with all sorts of things pinned to it. Badlands labor laws. Discrimination in employment. Job safety and well-being. And these also look illegible at their current resolution. Find these men $1 million bounty on the journalist who wrote these lies. Let's see what this says. 2 Fort Times. Spy tech bankrupt. Massive suitcase nuke recall. Sink Mann Co subsidiary. Uh-oh. Suitcase nuke. Sounds interesting. And another article by the 2 Fort Times. Bestralium a bust. Mann Co's Australium substitute a dangerous failure. I feel like trying to synthesize nuclear gold material is not the best idea, no matter how incredibly capable and competent the management and the administration of Mann Co is. I don't know if that sentence needs an is at the end, but Mann Co memo, notice to all employees. Shirts downgraded from optional to strongly discouraged. Excellent. Everyone's running around just showing the beef. Mann Co memo, notice to all employees. Captain Dan Guest, lecture on eating old things this July. That's good. Many people don't know, but large portions of the Mann Co employee regime struggle with eating old things. Missing. Have you seen this person? I wonder who that's supposed to be. And then this is, oh, these are actually different. Mann Co memo, notice to all employees. It is not a secret base if you keep telling people where it is. Mann Co memo, notice to all employees. Do not feed the homeless helmet-wearing man living in our dumpsters. I think that refers to Soldier during this part of the comics. I don't remember which issue of the comics Soldier gets the beggar's bazooka, the bucket that he can wear on his head, the rusty bucket, and the raccoon that hangs off his pants. But I do believe this is near that release. We have a nice fire extinguisher with some neat reflective surfaces. Here we have the power meter in the breaker box. Some nice piping for the restrooms, I'm sure, maybe a drinking fountain. We have these interesting caged fluorescent lights on either side. We've got the pyro mask, Pyro's purse, and fire suit. We have the Red Spy. The Red Spy's dry cleaning his jacket, and it looks like his pants also on the inside of the hanger, so his whole suit and shoes. We've got the engineer's helmet, sniper's hat, the medic's bandages and stethoscope. We have Scout's headset, Heavy's bandolier, Demo's flak jacket, and of course Heavy's socks and shoes, commonly left laying about. Stepping outside here, we have a longhorn skull near the door, and we have the Cornwell stencil here on the red spawn. I'm sure corn is their cover story for this part of the story. We have the red truck. This one seems like it's a darker shade of red than the other red truck. A little less vibrant, a little less shouty and bright. This one's more subdued and kind of, I don't want to say matte, well, it is a matte coloring, but it just has a more, something about it speaks of refinement to me. It's a nicer truck, so it's a bit darker. We get to look at it a bit more up close. Back behind Red Spawn, we have these large gravel, brown gravel specifically, piles, mounds, mountains. We have a barbed wire fence, keeping the two clans of brown gravel from warring. They cannot move beyond this fence, so they never really fight each other. I believe it's a lot like roosters. Ooh. And that left the skybox. Let's dip down a little bit. These nice silos with ladders, and the ladders have like a protective ring around you, so when you fall you can catch yourself on any of these rings. Heading over this way, we have a small building back behind our red spawn. It's ultimately empty, but it does have a nice fuel tank and a nice set of tires. We have some more silos in the back, in the distance, in the skybox, but they do cut to black when I try to go visit them. We have two more brown gravel mountains and a tire. Looks like a loose crate. We have a barn style building, and on top of it we have a new type of satellite, as well as the other sci-fi laser satellite we saw in Hightower. This one's really cool, the kind of one you see spinning in old media. This one is like the blue standard dish with a paint job to make it red team. Comes to a fine point. I'm sure this one This one sends or receives a signal. This one's a sort of radar. And this one's the functional output of the system. Oop, I wanted to get close enough to it, but it looks like it doesn't want me getting too close. Has a cool knob on the front, like a little, when you get like a fresh pen, and it has the ball on the tip of the ball joint to keep it from rolling. Just on the other side of the barbed wire fence, we have some more boxes and tires and a barrel. We have a public notice, closed, for information. Contact the West Coast Design Company, Limited. No authorized personnel allowed beyond this point. Well, it's a good thing I'm authorized. We have Rocket, a sign that says Rocket. Keep this doorway clear. They're doing a good job of that. We have a red barrel. So these two doors go to our doorways, arches, go to the rocket itself, the main area, which we'll see here in a moment. And this one's more of a direct path to the Australium. On this map, as a reminder, I'm sure I've said this in the intro, but the goal of this map is to pick up the Australium and carry it to the rocket in the middle without letting the other team do the same. This is a really interesting and fun map. Though I haven't played Special Delivery in quite a while now. I'm not sure if I've been on a server where we voted to play this map. I do think it should be more available in server map choices, but I believe it's considered a special event map in some capacity. What that special event might be, I am uncertain. But we have a wind chicken that shows us the direction that the wind is blowing. It's currently blowing southwest. We have some cool pulley systems up here. And we have the hook for the pulley. We come here and we have the Pictro, the GLaDOS camera that we see on most maps. We also have a UFO light. This is a nice little area. I'm not sure if combat happens here, but I like the life it gives the map. If we check out this room, we've got fake windows, some hubcaps, and some rail wheels, and another GLaDOS camera watching the door. In here we have a light bulb behind some chicken wire. We have a bottle of, or a can of quick dry paint. It's open, so the whole can is probably dry at this point. And we have the spool of wire. We have a light switch that goes up into the ceiling. And a nice UFO light. In here, it seems we have some details to check out. We have the shovel, rake, and hose without nozzle combo. We often see on these maps 2 very healthy barrels. More quick dry quick paint. Some cardboard moving boxes. A locked door, some real windows, some functional windows to let a little light in. And we have the shipping and receiving. I'm not sure where the word fresh came from in that. Ooh, excuse me. I'll mute that. Because I'm playing in a slower time frame, the doors are really loud and they open very slowly, which means they make the noise for twice, if not thrice as long. Here we have another light switch for shipping and receiving. We have a Pictro GLaDOS camera over there. We have the rust remover can and a breaker box. Here we have a little teller's desk. I'm not sure what you receive or drop off here, but it is a nice detail. Makes it seem more like a business front. Here we have some phones and those red plastic chairs. We have a cool door that says top secret. That's a good shot like this. Let's do this. Top secret, and we've got a light above it. It's cool how it's frosted, so the light inside being fluorescent, it's just bright white. Some invisible lights up here on top of the data link server, complete with radar, an actual moving radar, which is interesting given it's tucked away back here the way it is, but the radar is moving. The sine waves here seem to be static, but for all I know, they're moving so fast, this is just how they look. They've stabilized at a consistent rate. I believe rate is the word I'm thinking of. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 buttons. Some are not highlighted, some are red, and some are yellow. Coming through here, we're gonna go through here. We have a pallet. I was trying to avoid setting off the door, but I guess I did anyways. We have a red paint on the wall where it looks like they're trying to gussy up or dress up the place, make it look a little better. We have the paint in question and a 2-inch brush. Maybe that looks like it's probably a 5-inch brush, 6-inch brush. It's a very thick brush for very thick painting needs. Some incandescent light bulbs. We have the Jenkins Coal Co., which is interesting. They don't even process coal. They process gravel. We have the exhaust tube with its own little hat, because everything needs a hat in TF2. Some neat barn architecture here. We have the Crummy's Burger sign. And of course, the Doomsday rocket we see here that everyone is racing to load with Australium. We'll take a closer look at that here in a moment. For now, we have this area here. Those 2 doors earlier that said rocket lead out this area, which is common. It's common to be camped in this room. Spies or NGs will build in the enemy room here. I believe there's a room like it on the other side for blue team as well that also gets camped pretty hard. Then we have this room, also camped but mostly by soldiers and demo men, explosive classes that can jump up here. Sometimes the occasional scout as well. Down here we have another area with good cover thanks to these boulders or rocks here. Some nice detail rocks. A little bit of ground gravel, excuse me, and some rocks, and another incandescent bulb that gets its power from sheer will. Let's see, a bush and this crate and a spindle on top of a pallet, which makes for a kind of, I feel as spy, you could crouch down in here rather well and hide. from pyros or people chasing you looking around. If you get spotted, it's a good tucking spot. We have 3 crates. We have a little shack with a door. We have a tree that is not doing super well, but is doing its best. That looks to be some sort of pulley system. I'm not sure if I can get close enough to it. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Wow, okay, so this didn't put us through the skybox yet. But this is some sort of wheel system. I'm sure it's an oil drill of some kind. Right now, it's just 2 wheels and a roof that go down into the ground with these cell tower industrial kind of scaffolding metal fabrications. I'm not sure what you would call these. Not struts, not spokes, but the metal support beams reminiscent of a cell tower or a power pylon that you would see around a city or an area that has, I guess, electricity. I guess they're in every populated area, but I never know if someone's watching from like the middle of nowhere. Which if you are, thank you for joining me. Here we have a big bucket dangling from a rope. I'm not sure what the bucket is tied to, but it's attached kind of like a barnacle in Half-Life. Coming through here past this incandescent bulb, this little back area you can access through the bottom, and this is kind of a flank route that you can take to get up there without being too far out in the open if you're having an issue with snipers. And it leads up through there into here, which blue team also has one over here that leads down into their section. So you can kind of weave up through this to the other player's spawn, the other team's spawn, but you can also use it to stop people who are carrying the Australium up to the top of the rocket on this platform. We also have a spotlight. We have 2 spotlights here. And coming to the blue side, we have this ramp. No incandescent bulb on their side, but we do have this one. This kind of UFO light with an incandescent bulb inside of it. We've got the big rocks, the tires to help you jump up and retreat and or advance on your enemy. They're in blue spawn. And we have this room here, reminiscent of the front room for red team. This job has worked 0 days without an accident. We have a banana peel and another bucket. The banana peels are special here because it's a monkey astronaut in the rocket. And he has left his bananas all over, or the peels of his bananas all over the map. There are even some you can see by going out of bounds. And I find that kind of funny that they chose to use that as an Easter egg of a type. Here we have blue spawn with their cool satellite. And we have the tires there, the giant tractor tires. And we have a crate and a small truck tire. A concrete tube, I assume is for plumbing of some kind, or drainage. We do see a larger pipe that we can actually walk through on this map. We will see here momentarily. We've got telephone wires that travel as far as the eye can see, and a family of brown gravel mountains. Up top here, let's see, Can we get close? We are here. Oh. We are about as close as we can get with the OG satellite on Blue Team. I like the yellow stripe on the bottom. Very nice accent color. Here we have a house. I'm not sure if I can travel to it. I'm gonna try though. It looks like it's part of the skybox and everything goes black when I go towards it. But I feel like that happened on... What's that down there? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll check that out a little later. We'll pop back outside of boundaries and take a look at it. I guess that's just part of the skybox, but there is a little house out there. Here we have more barrels and a blue version of the red truck that we saw. Also a bit more dim in color, but looks a bit nicer in my opinion for it. We have the spool of wire. A nice kind of tulip shaped light there. Blue company. We have a gravel dispenser for your gravel dispensing needs. Here in Blue Spawn actually looks a bit more decorated. Let's take a look around here. We have the Pectro light, or camera. It's both. We have the Pectro GLaDOS camera, a punch-out clock. We have the bananas, of course, or the banana peel. We have Poopy Joe's astronaut suit, and Poopy Joe's, it is a P, not a B, so it's not Poopy Joe, it's Poopy Joe. We have Poopy Joe's lunchbox, probably also has a banana in it. And we have some coat hangers. The usual cubby items here. And then we have a scale, a dumbbell, and a odor begone can for foot odor. And through this door, wow, look at that. There's a whole downstairs we're gonna check out. Alright, we've seen all of these. It's the same cork board from the other side, but we have a paper bag here for lunch and plastic chairs. We have another paper bag and a thermos, some mass powder or aspirin, I'm not sure which it is there. We have a coffee pot, looks like a Mr. Coffee pot, and a clock. We have some of the barnacle lights, the little UFO lights, and an air vent here. And this looks like a vault door for like a bank vault or a Doomsday bunker, which is fitting. And they even modeled these two lights here. And it goes down and we have storage. Hello. What are you doing here? That's a little creepy that he's down here. I had no idea this was here. There's just a soldier model hanging out outside this top secret door. That actually gave me shivers. And we've got the data reels here. So he's obviously on guard protecting the data reels. We've got his grenades and his ammo pouches, I'm assuming. And he's got the boots and the hat. Which way is he looking? That way? I wonder. Doesn't look like there's anything over here, but that's what's down here. And we go back up. That's really neat. I like that they modeled all that down there, but why they left a soldier down here is interesting and kind of creepy, knowing he's just down here forever. I'm gonna go out of Blue Spawn, and we're gonna take a look at the Australium-powered area here. Real quick, we have some more barn kind of situations. Looks like gravel buildings, gravel processing buildings. And we have some thorny bushes with a cactus and a gravel mountain. A couple gravel mountains, it looks like. Of course, there's some outside the gravel generator, gravel building, another cactus. We also have another truck. This one seems like a lighter shade of blue, but it could just be the lighting. Now that I think about it, it probably is the lighting, but still a nice truck. Very nice. Of course, there's a banana peel in the back of it. Around this side, we have Kerosene USA. Looks like a water tower and a nice canal here, which leads to the Australium area canal. We have, it looks like a water tower or a silo over here with a red logo on it. And then if we travel this way, we have some mine carts here on a track. Very nice. I'm not sure that it goes anywhere. It doesn't look like that it does, but they at least make for a neat decoration. And who can blame you for wanting to collect these? And another banana peel. I really think they meant to leave these banana peels for whoever was exploring the map like this, because there's no way you would see this in normal gameplay. I think unless you rocket jump as a soldier or a demo, I don't think you would actually get up this high. But they have them out of bounds in a lot of interesting places. Is there anything in this one? Nope. This is the Australium area. You can get here by traveling from the front area through these small rooms next to the spawns. Both red and blue have them. There's also this middle area here that you can travel through. We're gonna go down the bottom route. Oh wait, I misunderstood. You can't get there through this. This is actually a death pit. There's a health kit here, but you risk getting knocked into this pit and dying. There's warning signs right here when you look at it head on. I hadn't quite seen them yet. We have a banana peel, but that area leads back out towards the rocket. And then you can come through one of two tunnels, red team or blue team, where we've got beer bottles, no trespassing, some incandescent light bulbs. We also have the banana peel. We have a keep out sign and a intercom. We have a UFO light with a cage on it. And we've got piping that leads around. We have blue team, Builders League United. More little incandescent bulbs. A neat drain here. I'm unsure where it comes from, but I'm sure this whole area floods from time to time. When water's higher, there's a flash flood. So maybe this area is here to manage that, or it's here to manage the runoff from the rocket. We have an ammo crate here with some rockets and a heavy belt sticking out of it. We have a top secret door like we saw in another area of the map. I don't remember where we saw that. I think it was Red's area. Then we have a intercom. There's these two pathways from up here that have their own room for both red and blue. I'm sure engineers like these rooms quite a bit. A good place to defend the Australium, which is right here, spinning a little slower than normal because we are in a slower time frame. You can see that it's a suitcase, yellow with a brown handle, and a MacGuffin on the top. I'm going to try and get close enough to look at it without picking it up. There we go. We have a MacGuffin with a coiled antenna and several switches and knobs. It looks like there's a striped tie sticking out the bottom. And it has the Australium on the side. That glowing vial there. It looks kind of like the Zen crystals, also from Half-Life. Let's see here. And this says, what does this say over here? Weaponized Australium. Interesting. We have Top Secret. And then the NG room I mentioned earlier from the other side, with 2 horseshoes on bent nails to keep them from sliding down. Let's go this way. We're gonna go through this room. There's a tree that is missing its leaves. Also haven't enough time, like most vegetation out here, I'm sure, that isn't a cactus. That's a cool pipe. I like the architecture of this area. Cool connector here. It looks like a broken set of stairs. Leads to a door at the top with a window. Is there a window on this side? There is not. There is a 21. I thought maybe this was an observation building for the rocket. We have these rooms down here with their gravel dispensers, where we have a health kit. Oh, 2 health kits. 2 small health kits. Here we have a minimal wear or field tested bottle of medicine. And then if we come down here, beneath the platform that leads from that building to the rocket, we can see we have a tube here that leads to the hole when the rocket takes off. This area is blasted with air, and it actually can launch you from here all the way through here and into the hole earlier that I warned you about that you can fall in. And it looks like in here there is another banana peel. And then we can see underneath the rocket here, we can get inside the base of the rocket. There's another banana peel at the bottom. And we have the cool rocket engines or thrusters. And we have the neat arm holding onto the rocket with the industrial strength metal. Probably steel. Giving it a little hug there with its arms. That's really cute, actually. It's giving it a hug. And it's got another pair of arms for hugging. We have some yellow paint on it. When we get up here, this whole thing is opened up so this platform here, let's explain a little clearly. When we get to this platform with the Australium, it slowly rises up to the top, and then the yellow cap pops off. The yellow cap opens up like a briefcase, and inside is where you deposit the Australium, and then it closes and it shoots up into space. And if you win on blue team, the rocket goes off course and flies towards the red side. And if you get it on red team, it flies off course to the blue side. Kind of implying that you launch the weaponized Australium at the enemy team. But I don't know if it hits their spawn per se. I don't think I'm going to be doing that for this exploration video, but I do believe that that's what's implied. I think it goes off at your satellites, actually, I think it sabotages the satellite buildings and not the actual spawn room. Come to think of it, which makes sense. You disrupt the other people's communications. Here's a little hiding room. I think that some people put teleporters here as well, so that they can get to the top of the point faster. You don't always want to fight down here because as this platform rises, you only have this platform to reach it to knock people off. And that's looking like we've explored most of this map. I'm gonna take a look up here at these doors and kind of set us up with a view. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking. If you have a map that you would like me to play, consider leaving a comment and telling me what map it is you would like to see. I can do it next week. I upload every Thursday, if not multiple days in the week. So the sooner you request that map, the sooner I can put it out. And I'm excited to see what it is. I really enjoy taking a look at these maps. A lot of different artists and engineers have to come together to make these visions come true. And it's cool to see them. Nowadays, we probably have different map expectations as far as the atmosphere and the aesthetic and the asset quality. But remembering this game, most of these maps came out between 2007 and 2011 at first, and then we will get into newer maps and even some fan-made maps. But it's really cool to see that with what we were working with in the late 2000s, we created such a cool atmosphere and environment for players when you don't even really pay attention to that kind of thing during gameplay. It really goes to show how much love and care we used to put into AAA titles like Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life. Valve, I think, really paying attention to every detail the way they do in most Team Fortress 2 maps, but in every section of their other games, really bringing the world to life is just one thing they do so consistently well. Thanks again for watching. If you're asleep, I hope you get excellent sleep and wonderful rest. If you're still awake, good luck with the rest of your time, and I'll see you next time.